Also, President Trump says he has fired a member of the Federal Reserve Board. He sent a letter to Lisa Cook saying he has found cause to let her go because of mortgage fraud allegations. Cook's lawyer told Politico that she will fight this decision. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe joins us now with more on this. Good morning to you, Ed. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions that we ask a lot these days. Is this the first time a president has fired a central bank governor? What is the legal basis? And could this hold up in court?
Yes, he's claiming because there's cause, and we'll see. In essence, he's trying to find ways to appoint people to the Federal Reserve Board that will dramatically lower interest rates. He's frustrated by the fact that the central bank hasn't done so sooner. Remember that last week, the Federal Reserve Board Chairman Jerome Powell suggested in a speech that September may be the month in which they start to do this anyway, because data now suggests it's time to do so. Cook is accused of potential mortgage fraud. There are accusations that she took out two different mortgages within weeks of each other, stating that both would be her primary residence. That is, to some at least, mortgage fraud. She disputes this claim. The president now cites that as the reason why he has to get rid of her. She's only accused, hasn't been convicted of anything, isn't currently charged with anything either by the Justice Department. So the cause here may not hold up in court, but he's certainly trying. She said overnight, the president's merely trying to get rid of me because he disagrees with me. I'm not going anywhere. And as far as we can tell, Errol, she doesn't have to go anywhere, not until the court weighs in, and it looks like this may be headed that way.
Yeah. And as we usually say, we will continue to watch this closely as it plays out. The president spoke extensively from the Oval Office yesterday before he signed a series of executive orders. And one of them looks to create specialized National Guard units to quell what he describes as civil disturbances. How could that and his plan to send troops to Democrat-run cities like Chicago also play out?
Well, the idea is that these units, should they be established, would be the ones, in essence, that could go. He and the defense secretary have talked about them being ready to go within like a few hours' notice, meaning they'd always be ready. They're also presuming that there's enough civil disturbance to keep such a unit ready to go at all times. He's within his purview. The Defense Department, the defense secretary, within their purview to try to stand up such a unit. Where exactly they'll be based, it's believed somewhere either in the Midwest or the South. And again, they'd be ready to go into big cities or other places where there might be civil disturbances within just a few hours' time. But it is designed, in essence, to stand up a group of troops, or a troop, really, of National Guardsmen to be ready to go as they've deployed here into Washington, as he's threatening to do into places like Chicago and Baltimore. The frustration that some have, certainly the president and those that are trying to push for this kind of deployment, is that it did take a little while for the roughly 2,000 or so troops that are involved here to be assembled from the various states. This would at least have a few hundred ready to go at any one time.
All right. Ed, with all the latest in a succinct manner, which is tough to do these days, Ed, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Take care.